Okay. Sales directors and senior sales directors, are you ready for your next class? All right, great. Then I'll bring out your teachers and we'll get started. Would you please help me welcome back Independent National Sales Director Amie Gamboian, and joining her is Independent National Sales Director Auri Hathaway.
Well, welcome. Welcome to Coaching in the Moment. Today, we're going to be grasping the concept of coaching self and coaching others instead of having this absolutely perfect dialogue.
Auri, I'm so excited about teaching this class with you. I have just been so looking forward to this. And you know what, you guys, what's going to make this class really special is that this is a class where we're going to be working through crucial conversations. We're going to talk a little bit about that we're going to outline some teaching points for you. And then I hope you're excited about this. We're going to do 3 live role plays with you. Does that sound great? 3 live role plays off the cuff, Auri and I. Okay, here's the thought about crucial conversations is that when we're coaching, it's so important, you guys, not to be afraid to have the important conversations that are gonna really shape and develop her in her process as she's moving up the career path as a leader. So it's to not be afraid about having those conversations that you might feel a little bit, or a little bit touchy or touch and go, or you're just not sure about it. Remember from our last session that it doesn't mean that you have to have the perfect dialogues, but you've got to have the right intention in your heart, that right servant leadership. And so everything you're going to see us outline today is about crucial conversations. Are we ready?
I think we're ready. And one thing we definitely want to know is, when you are coaching, you could be a role model to this person. You could also be a mentor. And what the difference is between having a role model, having a mentor, and having a coach. A coach, or we would start with a role model, is somebody that you really admire and look up to, but they don't necessarily coach you. And someone who would be a mentor is someone who gives you advice and counsel, but a coach is someone that really helps you implement the plan. And that makes a key difference. Now, your coach could be all 3 to you, but the coach is the one that takes you through the game plan. So let's get started. All right, well, number 1 teaching point that we want to talk about today is taking her emotional temperature. You really want to know how she's feeling right now in this moment. Listen for very specific polarizing words. You've got your listening ears on. If she isn't in a great place where she'll be able to fully receive your suggestions, you're going to want to consider coaching her to get to this other great place. You should find out where she is right now to be able to help her. So you're listening for very specific words. You're thinking only of her. I know sometimes we're just waiting to say the next thing. And one thing that's really been helpful to me is to just, hold my hand over my heart and really just be thinking of her and nothing else, listening for those polarizing words so I could take her to a better place. The second point that we're going to be talking about, that I want you to take a note about, is taking her back to her why and to her hope. Nothing will drive you up more than knowing your very specific and clear, on purpose why. And if I don't know her why, I cannot carry her very far at all. And so I need her to share her why in her business, why she decided to take a step in leadership. What is it that she loves the most about this Mary Kay opportunity? And taking her back through those emotions of hope. I'm going to help her create that vision and then put her in it, step her into that vision to create that emotion of hope.
Auri, I love those first 2 points, taking her emotional temperature and then taking her back to her why and her hope. We're really keeping the main thing in the conversation when we start off that way. Teaching point number 3 is to reinforce her. And I'm going to share with you just kind of a few phrases you might use in order to be able to do that. But when you think of reinforcement, it's a form of encouragement. It's a form of edifying someone. It's a form of showing that you really are being an active listener when you can repeat back to her what she has said. And not only the words, but you understand the sentiment with which those words were delivered. And so you may say something like this: Auri, this is what I hear you saying. Auri, this is what I hear you saying. Or, this is what I know to be true about you. This is what I know to be true about you. So what you have shared would be these things. So it's like a repeating, but it gives you a chance to really affirm her, to really value her, show that you respect her wherever she's at, even if those comments maybe have been a little bit challenging. So it's a form of affirmation. So point number 3 is to reinforce. Point number 4 is going to be to utilize this crucial conversations opportunity to help her keep embracing her journey. Okay, let's look at this. We all know that throughout the course of building a Mary Kay business and building a great life, that without question, it is a process of growth, and that's the most important thing about it. So in every crucial conversation opportunity, we have the opportunity as coaches to remind her that it is a process. And even if she's going through a challenging time, that through that challenging time and learning how to navigate through that process and challenge and overcoming that hurdle, she is going to strengthen herself through the process of that being there. And so here would be a couple of questions that you could ask or just phrases that you could share with that. Something like this: Auri, let's talk about what you've already learned up to this point. Let's talk about what you've already learned up to this point, giving her an opportunity to really celebrate the little victories and to recognize truly how far she's come on the process. You might choose to ask her, what are you learning right now? You know, one of the things that I've always found in building my business is that every experience is an opportunity for growth and for learning. What do you feel like you're learning right now through this situation? And then another would be more of an action-oriented directive question or statement. Something like, what do you feel would be the next best steps to take at this point? So as we go through all of those teaching points, we definitely in our crucial conversations theory want to get to the end of that where we can tie a bow, and the bow on that conversation is going to be an action plan that we can take and move forward from at that point. So next steps, where are we headed from here? What would make you feel great in terms of the next steps that we take to move forward? Those kinds of questions and phrases are super. So those are our 4 teaching points to work from today, from kind of a framework for crucial conversations. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig in, dive in, and really role play some real-time role plays for you. We have not practiced these out, and so we're excited to show you the theory that we've been teaching this morning, that it's not about having the exact words and a script to work from, but it is about having a servant's heart and a desire to help that woman be able to move past and move forward on the career path.
All right, well, role play number 1, this is called New and Disappointed.
I am going to be the new and disappointed consultant. You may notice that Auri and I have pens in hand, and we have some note cards. And I just want to mention this for you because one of the techniques that both of us do use in coaching is we do take a lot of notes in the conversations that we have, and it allows us to really checkpoint how well am I listening, and do I really have my active listening ears on. And so we wanted you to see that what we do in our own offices, in our own pink Cadillacs, and coaching women at Starbucks and all across the country, we're going to do right here for you live. Okay, so I'm the new and yet disappointed consultant. So, Auri, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I really appreciate it. I know you're so busy.
Oh, Amie, it means the world to me that you reached up to me. It just shows me that you really are committed to your business. It shows me that you're willing to reach up. And when I got your call, I was excited to meet with you. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to meet with you.
Thank you. Well, you know, I wish I could come to this appointment with more excitement. You know, the last time we were together, I was just opening up my starter kit and was just so excited about the possibilities for Mary Kay and my future. And, you know, I have to be honest with you, and I know that I can be. I am really frustrated. I really feel disappointed right now, and I don't really know where to go from here.
Well, Amie, first of all, I just have to start. Thank you for being so honest with me. It means the world to me that you trust me that way, and I appreciate that so much. It just shows me that you are a great communicator, and I really appreciate that you trust me that way. So thank you for your honesty. And I heard you say that you feel so disappointed, and I want you to know that that shows already that you are a champion. That means that you had a high level of expectation, and somehow it wasn't met, which just shows me you're such a big thinker. So I'm excited that we're meeting. I'm excited to be working with you. I'd love to know, tell me, why is it that you feel disappointed? What has happened?
Yeah, well, I set out to have a great grand opening in my business and really give things just a rock star kickoff. And you have such great resources available, and I followed the checklist that you have for really preparing for success with a great grand opening. And, I sent out, over 50 invitations. It was probably close to 75, and I just didn't have hardly anybody there.
Oh my goodness, well, how many did you have coming, and what were you expecting?
There were 12 women there, but I thought it would be, 25 or 30.
Oh my gosh, I thought you had 12 women at your grand opening. Amie, that is phenomenal. It is so
It is?
It really is. And I just have to compliment you. I love that you read the checklist, that you know what it is, and that you did everything on it. Again, it just shows me your level of commitment. It shows me that you're in it to win it, and I love that. It's so phenomenal. So, one thing when I was a brand new consultant that I learned, if I may share with you, it's called the law of averages. Have you ever heard about the law of averages?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know how that would work in Mary Kay.
Well, it sounds something like this. Let's pretend we did mail out about 50 invitations. Usually you'll have about 25 RSVPs. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, and that's about what I got.
Okay, perfect. And usually on the day of the party or the day before, about half will show and the other half won't. And there's a reason for that. It's not because they don't love you. It's not because they don't want to help you. It's not because they don't want to support you. It's because life happened. Something happened, like they woke up and their son was sick, or their husband really did get called into work, and now they didn't have a babysitter. So it's not a reflection on you and your efforts, but it definitely is a law of averages. So now that you have this information, how does that make you feel about your results?
That's really good. It makes me feel a lot better because I have to be honest with you. It's hard not to take that personally. The women on that initial invitation list are the women that I really feel like I know the most and who know me the best. And I was really expecting, full support across the board. So it does make me feel better. Thank you for sharing that. Where do I go from here? I invited them. Some RSVP'd, about half. Then I had that whole group that didn't even take the time to click on their laptop or iPad, yes or no or maybe. What do I do?
Well, I just love that you're already thinking of the next step. I think that's fabulous. So you are absolutely right. These women who love you and support you, they do want to love you. They do want to support your Mary Kay business as well, too. And I think sometimes we don't know what to do next, or we're afraid to follow up because we feel like we're going to be possibly pushy. Does that sound right? Like, you're like, gosh, they didn't even respond, or?
Yes, I don't want to be that person, especially in my family and in my close friendship circle, that when people see me coming, they want to turn around and run. But yet I don't want to miss opportunity either. And so I'm not sure how I would take those next steps.
Well, I will tell you that one of the things that I loved about my Mary Kay business that I learned is that when I followed up, instead of coming across as being pushy, I discovered that I was coming across as being committed. Have you ever been invited to a place and you received an invitation, and then it was a nice invitation, exclusive invitation, and they followed up with a personal phone call? How did that make you feel?
I have been in that situation, not very frequently. I would say more times than not, I've been in the situation where I've got something once and then never heard again. So when I did get that second reach out or second connection, it made me feel like they really believed in what they were doing. And it was a special event in our community, and I really felt like it communicated that passion. I also felt kind of special.
And that's exactly how your friends and family are going to feel when you reach out to them the second time. That next step of calling those who did RSVP, who didn't show up, will make them feel special. Also, it'll give you an opportunity to share with them how committed you are to the business as well too. And it'll give you an opportunity to rebook those women. So that initial invitation is more of an announcement to them about your Mary Kay business, and now we do the follow-up. And follow-up equals commitment. They're gonna have that opportunity to see that from you. And so how does that make you feel now that you understand that there is that next step and these women are gonna be able to hear from you again?
That makes me feel really good, and I love what you said, that follow-up equals commitment. And you know that I'm committed to doing this, and I shared with you that if I was gonna do it, I would be in it to win it, so I'm willing to do that. Do you think I should make phone calls? Should I text them? Should I send them an email?
Well, I will tell you that if these are your friends and family, the ones that you love, that love you back, just like you said, I think that personal phone call would be absolutely the best. How do you normally interact with these friends and family?
In lots of ways, in all of those ways that I mentioned, but mostly in, phone conversation and texting.
Perfect. Well, you may want to reach out the way you initially do, and then follow up in a different way. I always say there's nothing like furry eyeball to furry eyeball. It's my favorite, because when your friend sees your face and sees that she should have been there and she didn't realize how important this was to you, it'll make a difference. It'll help create that connection. And I know that in this business, you're gonna find some times where you do feel disappointment. Again, I don't want you to feel like you're not, but reaching up is always the best thing. It'll help take you to that next level. So thank you again for coming to me and asking me about that. I did want to ask you, of course, is, as you're doing your follow-up, today is Friday. How many women do you think you have to call so far that didn't come at last minute?
That didn't come at the last minute, there were about 8.
Okay.
And then I have that whole group that didn't RSVP.
Okay.
But I think I can get that covered this weekend, and I'm willing to do that.
That would be so phenomenal. I would love to schedule a time that I could follow up with you and that I can review with you how those conversations went as well. And then we can just review our progress so far, and then I can, show you or answer any questions that you have at that time to take you to that next level.
That sounds great. Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome, Amie. Again, congratulations on your grand opening. You did a phenomenal job, and I'm excited to be working with you.
Thank you. Me too. As a part of each of our role plays, we're going to add just a little bit of commentary for you. Some things that we're commentating from the position of being the player, not commentating as the coach who really led the discussion. So for me, I want to share with you what I felt as the player in that role play with Auri, as the new and disappointed consultant. The number one thing that I felt is that she made me feel comfortable exactly where I was in that moment. And she was willing to allow me to feel that disappointment, but not to camp out there. So I really appreciate that you were present to me in that moment, and that I felt your servant leadership heart. I could feel it, I could see it in your eyes, I could hear it in your voice. The other thing that I know that you all took notes on is how she was edifying me and lifting me up and finding every bit that she could praise me on, and that were good character traits or good steps that I had taken, good things that I had done. What I also appreciated is that you kept a real high level of direction. So the support was there, but she kept her overall role in the conversation to be to direct the conversation, coach it through, and get me to a better place on the other side. And I appreciated that, because I came to you not to fix the problem, but to help me navigate through it and get to a better place. You noticed at the end that Auri kept it very tight in terms of what would be our next best steps. She built some confidence into me with that process of reaching out and doing that follow-up, and then also did a follow-up to the follow-up with me. So a reminder there is that coaches do always stay in the game, and we don't let loose too much, because there are viable coaching opportunities that would come from this situation right after I had made the second attempt of those booking conversations. So those were the things that I felt and picked up on right away that she did a great job on. Don't you agree?
Thank you, Amie.
So now we're going to switch roles, and Auri is going to be the consultant, and I am going to be the coach and leader, and she is going to be a consultant who is considering giving up her Mary Kay business.
So this is called considering giving up. Amie, girl, I'm so glad you met with me. I don't know what to do. When I started my business, I was just holding parties and facialing everyone, and now I don't know where I'm gonna find the time. I'm out of people. I feel frustrated, and goodness, I just don't really know if I've got it in me anymore. I don't know if this is what I want.
Okay. You know what? I first of all just want to share with you how grateful I am that you have come to me and that you're willing to really talk this through. It tells me so much about your character as a person and your character as a leader of your own business. The other thing that it tells me is that you are not ready to give up this business, or we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we? So I want to ask you a little bit more about how it is that you're feeling right now. You mentioned a little bit with time. You mentioned a little bit in terms of you facialed everyone. And I heard the word frustration. Just tell me a little bit more about the feelings that are going on inside related to your business.
Well, I feel like I was on this high and now I've hit a low. Like, everyone was so excited for me. They were all loving the product and they all booked, and then they didn't hold. And so it went from a really big high to a really down low. And I don't know what to do at this point. I've tried calling them, contacting them, and I just feel like they're not reaching back out to me.
Okay, so what I hear you sharing is that the frustration is connected to you reached out, you did the work, you set those appointments up, you were suited up and prepared for success, you were excited, you had your A-game face on, and the appointments didn't stay together.
Correct.
What did you feel at that moment?
I felt that the time I had put in wasn't worth it.
Okay. What did you learn from the experience of doing the preparation, booking the appointments, suiting yourself up, getting ready to hold those appointments? What did you learn from that?
I loved that it was on my own time.
Okay.
I loved that I'm the business owner and I'm in charge. I loved that I was about to make some women feel important. I knew that they were gonna love that transformation. And I was excited to meet with them. I really was. So I think what I was most disappointed about was I didn't get to meet them.
Okay. So you were really excited about connecting with the people, and that appointment was the opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now in setting up the appointment, there was connection, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that did happen. That was like a little bit of the little teaser, the little flavor of what was to come. Okay. And you loved being in that moment of being a business owner and being able to work your business when it worked into your schedule and set things up according to your schedule. Auri, remind me, take me back. Was that one of the key reasons why you started your Mary Kay business?
Oh, definitely. I love to be in charge and in control of my agenda. I love that. I love that I was able to do it at night after my baby was asleep, and I could see myself doing it full time. I'd be like, this is what it would be like. I'd be doing it after my day-to-day life is over, the setting up for the event. That was exhilarating to me, I have to say.
Okay, so what you're saying is when you started your business, you didn't come into Mary Kay really thinking that you would just kind of putz or play with it. You really came into the company with a pretty significant vision about being able to work this business at a full-time level.
Well, I saw you, and I see you with your girls, and that inspired me.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about that. What inspires you about that? Why do you want that in your life?
Quality time with them, choices, the choices that you would have. I don't want to say no. I don't want to miss out.
Okay, so quality time, being able to have more choices, and really being in control of architecting your life architecting your schedule, being able to design your life the way that you really want it to be. You talked earlier about the connection to people, and I see in you such phenomenal people skills and such a natural strength and ability to be able to connect with women and to just draw them into your passion and to your excitement. Was that one of the reasons why you originally started your business?
I can say that I do enjoy being able to have that time with women and being able to connect with them and share with them my strength. Definitely, I think you strengthened me just being around you. I was like, wow, maybe I could be that person to somebody else. So definitely I would say yes to that.
Okay, so as you've imagined yourself being that person to somebody else, that tells me that you picture yourself passing on this dream to other women.
Yes.
That while you love doing the connections for your own business, and you love having the empowerment of setting up your own schedule and calling the shots and doing it on your own time, that the vision that you really do have and the desire that you have are parallel, and that you see this as a bigger opportunity for yourself, that full-time concept.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you think that I have ever had disappointment?
I'm sure you have, probably.
Do you think that I've ever been faced with cancellations, no-shows, and postponements?
Absolutely.
You are correct. You know what? There is this law of averages. We won't go through that again since Auri taught on that, but that's a great teaching point at this moment. Another direction that I can take this, and I'll take it this way to show you something that's a little bit new, is, you know what, Auri, one of the things that I found when I feel disappointed or when something hasn't gone exactly the way that I've planned it to go, that's really helpful for me, is to go back to my original why, of why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing. Would you say that the promise of your future, of being able to design your life the way that you want it to be able to set your own schedule, call the shots, have the time that you want to have, be able to be in charge, and most importantly, to be able to pass on what it is that you want to have in your life, would you say that that is more significant as a vision than a little bit of disappointment you're feeling right now?
Yes, I'd have to say yes to that.
So then we're at a place right now. It's a bit of a crossroads. It's like a fork in the road, where you have the opportunity to decide, am I going to put more faith in my faith or more faith in my fear and disappointment?
Faith and faith.
Okay, so we can make an action plan. So let me ask you right now, what activity that you could do within the next couple of days would really just make you feel powerful and confident again in your vision and in building your business? And there is no right or wrong answer. I want you to know that. What would make you feel good?
If I was in front of a group of women, making them feel special.
Okay.
That would make my day.
Okay, absolutely. And so a group of women, I'm thinking maybe 5 or 6 women, gathered around the table that you could invest your incredible people skills and love into, would make you feel great.
Yes.
How is it going to make you feel? What's great mean?
It's going to get me out of the house and with adult women, and have fun and pampering them. And it's going to put money in my pocket, which we need. Our family definitely needs that. And it's going to help me grow my business. I could see myself making customers, which I need, and booking more, which I need, and being able to share my why, which I hope inspires them as much as your why inspired me.
Okay, so that promise of what is to come when you hold that appointment in the next couple of days, is that enough to reignite your spirit so that we can get back on that phone again, rebook a couple of those appointments, and get it going?
Yes, but how? How am I going to do this?
Okay.
Tell me.
So let's just look at your list. Let's look at that list right now, and I just want you to pick out from your list. I see about 5 names here. Who do you just feel most excited about connecting to? As you picture that appointment in your mind, who would you be most excited to connect with?
I think my friend Mabel. I mean, she loves me. I love her. I don't see why she wouldn't.
Okay. Wonderful.
And I haven't seen her in a while, so it'd be great.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. When you call Mabel back, Do you think that she will be more moved to hold that appointment with you in a short period of time if you just share with her, hey, Mabel, I want to do a party. Can you host us a party for me? Or if you share with her a few of the things, passion points about your vision that you just communicated to me, what do you suppose she'd be more likely to support? Your why or your what?
Definitely the why.
Okay. Do you feel confident in being able to communicate that in a conversation about booking?
Yeah, she's one of my best friends. I think I could just, from the heart, give it to her, and she'll, and plus what you just said, I think so. But if you have a script, do you have something you could email me or
You know what, I
text
absolutely
me
do. I absolutely do have a script, and that's helpful for me to just have you ask that question because that tells me that you might like some specific tools that I can be putting in your hands in the future that will really help empower you as well. I'm happy to do that, and that'll be in your email.
That would be great.
So
Thank
we know
you.
what you're gonna do. Tell me when you're gonna make the phone call.
Okay, today's Friday. Are Fridays a good time to call people? Like, should I call?
Fridays are a great time to call people. You know when the best time is to call people?
When is that?
When you're excited, and that time's right now.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna call her today.
Okay, so you're gonna call her today.
I'm gonna call her today.
So just put yourself on a scale for me, just a scale of 1 to 10, Auri. How willing are you to make just this one phone call? We're just gonna bust through into that new level of confidence. How willing, 1 to 10?
A 10.
You're a 10. You're a 10. Then we're gonna do it. Is it okay if I would expect a text from you or a phone call from you after you've made that phone call so you can tell me how great it felt to suit yourself back up, pull on those bootstraps of courage and confidence that I have seen you run in before, and share that experience with me?
Yeah, I think so.
I want you to know I'm gonna carve out a special moment of celebration and a happy dance just for you. Thank you for letting me be a part of that victory with you.
Thank you, Amie, for your time.
I believe in
Thank you
you.
so much. I can tell.
You can do this.
Thank you, Amie. Have a great day.
You too.
Oh my goodness, she's amazing, isn't she? I'm sure you guys are all taking notes as well too. Things that Amie did that made me feel amazing as this consultant that was disappointed, and now I really am ready. I like want to jump off the stage and go to a party. Honestly, I'm like, gosh, I really need to go call Mabel. I just picked my best friend out of my head. I know that she will do a party for me. Thank you so much, Amie. She asked me a question that I thought was so fabulous and made me feel so good. She said, based off of what you said, you just let me know that you are not, and when she started that way, I was like, oh, what am I not? And she says, you are not ready to quit. And I love that because she was right on. I am not ready to quit, or I never would have called her to have this conversation with her. So her identifying that in me identified the champion and the winner in me. It made me connect with her, is what it did. She found in me that determination that I have in me. And it was so wonderful. People want to know that you recognize their willingness to continue. Okay, otherwise they would not have reached out. So I love that she said that. I love that she took me back to my why. Back to the beginning. She kept taking me back to that why, and it refueled in my mind that vision of me living in the life that she has. That's why I signed my beauty agreement, right? Was to have the life that my director has. How many of you can relate to that? And your consultants tend to have that same experience with you. And so I said, I remember walking into that beauty center and seeing my sales director, Daisha Wiegott, and wanting the life that she had. So I was just pretending she was Daisha, and it took me back to that why in the beginning. So I love that she did that. She also really praised me. She did such a phenomenal job of praising me, mentioning what my strengths were, that I was courageous. And I love that because it actually made me feel stronger and more courageous instantaneously. And so when you speak with your words, you create. And whatever you speak into existence will inevitably come to pass. And so she spoke those words into existence, and I could literally feel them go into my body, and I felt stronger, and I felt more passionate because of that. I love that she asked, why am I doing this, and what am I doing? What actions have I taken already? I thought that was so phenomenal. Like, what is the first steps to do? And then she casted a vision for me. when she role played out the script of me calling my best friend? Do you think that she would do it for your why or for your what? And, I think that when somebody asks you a question like that, you put yourself in that person's space and place. And when you put yourself in their place, you think, gosh, if she called me just to tell me I need you to do this, you're like, But if she tells you why she needs you to do something, you're so moved to do it. And so that was absolutely phenomenal. I love that she said, I asked her, when's the best time to call people? And she said, when you're excited. I thought that was such a phenomenal piece because excitement breeds excitement, does it not? The more excited you call up your girlfriend, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. She's like, what's going on? Because they think you've got gossip, right? They're like, what's going on? Tell me. And so I love that she evoked an emotion in me. When you evoke an emotion in a person, it brings back other memories as well too, but it creates a vision for a person when you evoke that emotion in them. So she evoked that emotion in me, and it's allowing me to create an experience and a vision, and I could see then my excitement will transfer over to my friend when she said that, which I thought was awesome. And I love that she concluded with my willingness level. If you don't know the level that your consultant's willingness is, you don't have anything to really work with. Her willingness level makes the world of a difference, and she concluded with that. And it was awesome because I wanted to say 10. There's no way I was gonna say my willingness is a 4. And people step up to your level of expectation. And I knew that if she asked that question, it's because she took the time to invest into me, so then she was gonna want to hear a 10. And because I said 10, I wanna follow through with that commitment too. So I love that you asked that. I think Amie did an amazing, incredible job. Let's give her another round of applause.
Thank you.
So role play number 3 is, I'm stuck, get me unstuck, and double yikes, I'm a DIQ. And in this role, Amie will be the DIQ, and I'm gonna be the sales director, future senior sales director. So Amie, thank you again for calling me and reaching out to me. Girl, what's going on? Tell me.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I want to be a director so bad. It's all I think about. It's all I think about all the time. Like I'm eating it, I'm breathing it, I'm sleeping it. And I feel like I'm doing everything that I could possibly do. And the numbers, they're just not on the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. They're just not there. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like I want it so bad. I don't know how much more I could want it. And I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I'm seeing the people. I'm doing the interviews. Mm-hmm. I just don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing this with me. Oh my goodness, it just means the world to me that you've reached up. If you hang around those people that you want to be like, inevitably you'll become like them. So thank you for reaching up to me. Thank you for being so honest with me. Thank you for sharing all these feelings with me. And can I just tell you, when in my journey, in my path, in coming up into directorship, do you ever feel that I felt the same way as you?
I would guess you did. It's so hard for me to see you that way, though, because you have everything together now. But I would guess you had to have had a few challenges along the way.
You are absolutely right, Amie. I definitely had challenges along the way. And who I am today is not who I was when I first started my DIQ experience or when I started my Mary Kay business. So do you remember what you were like when you first started your Mary Kay business and signed that beauty consultant agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah, and would you say you've grown since then?
Absolutely.
I believe you've grown. I've seen you grown as well too. And so, I know you weren't there when I signed my beauty consultant agreement, but you can imagine I've had the same growth, right?
Yes, I can.
You can believe that I've been in your exact same shoes. How does that make you feel knowing that I've been where you're at?
It gives me hope.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
It gives me hope that if you experience some things like I'm going through right now, and you came through on the other side and you reached your goal, that I can do it too. I just need to figure out how to get from here to there.
And we are going to figure that out, absolutely. You know, one of the things that you said is that you want it so bad. And I love that you want it so bad because, girl, if you didn't want it so bad, it's not going to happen. So I love that you said that. So believe, because you said that with such passion, that it will happen. Do you believe that?
I do.
I believe it too.
I do believe that.
You said it with every part of your being. It's going to happen. I love that you said that. You know, one thing that you said is that you feel like you're doing all the right things, but you're not seeing the results. Can you tell me, what is all the right things? What things have you been doing?
Okay, well, here's what I've really focused on in the past month. I focused on being audacious. Like, you know I'm not a minimum person. I don't want to play for minimums. It doesn't even enter my thought process. So I was committed to 50 faces. And I went out there and I suited up and I put product on 50 faces and expecting that from doing 50 faces and willing to do it as a DIQ, you know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But I mean, like, I thought I'd have, 5 or 10 new personal team members and lots of products sold and just everything gelling, just everything coming from that experience. And so I so suited up for the work. I was so willing to do the work and I did the work. But there's gotta be a missing link.
Well, I love that you have this willingness to do the work and then that you actually did the work. That says so much about you. Amie, you're such a champion. I love that you set out a goal at the beginning of the month to be audacious. That's because you are an audacious person. And trust me, no one understands how you feel more than me. To set out with a huge, audacious goal, to do the work and then to not see the results. I have been there before, and I'm grateful for those experiences. What carried me through is one day I knew I'd meet someone like me and that they would be able to learn from that experience that I went through, and that gave me the courage to continue because I knew I'd have to help that person go through that season of their life. So can I first tell you thank you? Thank you for this opportunity because it reassures me from what I went through in my past. I knew this day would one day come. And so now I'm more grateful for that past experience because now I'm able to help you. So thank you again for coming to me. So, I heard you say that the numbers are not on the scoreboard, but the activity was definitely there. You were expecting 5 to 10 new personal team members. What was that based on? Was that based on a goal that you set, past recruiting averages? What would you say?
You know what? It was based on, first of all, since I'm in DIQ, we're interviewing everybody. I mean, we've got really tight systems with that, and so we're talking with everybody. And so, I was willing to and shared information about our business plan and our career with Mary Kay with all 50 of those women. And you know what? With some of them, it was kind of mini marketing.
Okay.
But I did sit down belly button to belly button with a lot of them. And so I really, from past recruiting averages and just the company-wide average, was figuring, a 1 out of 5 average. We just didn't come in that strong.
Okay. Now, so you did interview all 50, even if it was mini marketing or full-blown marketing. You definitely did, which is
Everybody
phenomenal.
heard something about the Mary Kay business opportunity.
Perfect. Awesome. I will tell you that one of the things that I've learned through this Mary Kay opportunity is that some women require layering. So, we may not see the results today, but it is going to come through. If I can share with you an experience from a prior DIQ, she did 3 power starts in a row. And from those 3 power starts, she really